All right, before we get into calories tracking or meal planning, we're going to kind of reset how you think about food. So, most people have been taught to think about food as clean foods or junk foods, organic or processed or things like that. And what they haven't been taught is how food actually works inside the body. So, we're going to start at the foundation. So, at the most basic level, every food you eat is made up of protein, carbs, and fat, or some combination of the three. There's no food that exists outside of that framework. And when it comes to body composition, food isn't inherently good or bad, it's just kind of data. So, protein is going to support muscle recovery and satiety. Carbs are going to be there for fueling training and fueling daily activity, cognition. And fats are there for hormones and cell health and digestion, honestly. So all three matter. You need all three in some form or fashion. None of them are optional. They're all tools. Now, where the nuance comes in is all food is made up of protein, carbs, and fats. Not all foods behave the same way once you eat them. So highly processed foods are often going to have things like fillers and additives and some flavor enhancers that are designed to make things like super palatable. So they're easier to overeat and they're less filling per calorie, and for some people they're harder to digest. That doesn't necessarily make them bad, that just means that they come with trade-offs. So highly processed food, if it fits your macros, it might leave you hungry a little earlier. A whole food option might hit the same macros, keep you fuller for longer, and give you just kind of better energy that you can use. Both count. Both are food. Obviously, we're going to lean into the whole foods primarily. However, that doesn't mean that like junk foods don't have a place or they can't exist. So when most of your diet is built around like minimally processed foods, it becomes easier to stay full, hit your protein targets, and then things digest well typically. And then you'll also be able to recover from training because you're using those nutrients better. And you'll be able to be consistent week to week. So food quality still matters, even though we don't like moralize food. So the goal here isn't to put like a moral value on food. It's not necessarily a good food or a bad food. It just has properties about it. So the goal isn't necessarily to eliminate processed foods. We're just going to kind of minimize that for the reasons that we talked about a little bit earlier. So this is why tracking matters, because it's not just about the numbers. It gives us feedback, which allows you to like know what foods digest well. You can pair like bloating with a meal that you ate, and you can see the logs and things like that. So if you remember one thing from this, remember food is made up of protein, carbs, and fats. Processed foods aren't necessarily evil, but they come with trade-offs. And progress comes from structure, awareness, and consistency overall.